Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Our Honorable Associate Professor Technologist, Dr. Syukursani Mohd Fauzi, Rector UiT Perlis. Our respected speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Mohd Hafiz Hanafiah. Webinar committee members and all participants. Welcome to webinar writing series, Raising the Visibility of Your Research. I'm Solhan Yahya from the Faculty of Applied Sciences, UiT Perlis, and I'm a moderator for this webinar. Before we proceed, I would like to raise an attention from you on several matters. First, it is appreciated if you could mute your microphone throughout the session to avoid any accidental interruption during the talk. Next, if you do have any question for the speaker, you may type your question in the chat box and I will attend the question and pass to Dr. Mohd Hafiz in the Q&A session to clear up the query. Or you may have a two-way communication but unmute the microphone in the session as well. And the last, the link for the certificate of participation will be shared and webinar. So please stay with us until the end. Ladies and gentlemen, a formal event as this is not official until we have an opening speech. The Honorable Associate Professor Technologist, Dr. Syukursani Mohd Fauzi, Rector UiT Perlis, has a special greeting for all the audience today. Please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Syukursani Mohd Fauzi for the opening speech. Committee member, is there Dr. Syukur is in this webinar? He is here or not? It's not in yet. Okay. A committee member. Is Dr. Syukur is in this webinar? He's not in. So can we proceed with Dr. Hafiz? Oh, okay, okay. All right, he's on the way. Yeah.
Still on the way. Please give me about 3 minutes. Sorry.
Okay. All right. While waiting for the our rector, UiT Perlis. So we will have another 2 minutes. Okay, while waiting for the UiT Perlis rector, so let me highlight the main objective of this seminar first. It is to grab a knowledge on how to increase or maximize the visibility of our research, and also to seek for the techniques, plan and strategy, how to promote our research in a prominent place, right? So today we will listen to the very interesting topics, okay, with our respected speaker, with his experts in how to promote our research globally, right? So, all right, Dr. Syukur is in. Okay, so Let's have a special greeting for all the audience today. Please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Syukur Sanim for the opening speech. Please welcome, Doctor.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Solhan. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So can you hear my voice clearly, Solhan?
Boleh, Doctor. Can.
Alright.
Sure.
Alright. So first of all, yang berbahagia Profesor Madya Dr. Mohd Hafiz Mohd Hanafiah, Timbalan Dekan ICAN, Fakulti Perhotelan, sebagai penceramah jemputan kita pada hari ini, yang berusaha Dr. Nurul Ain Muhammad Zaki, Koordinator Unit Penerbitan, Perundingan dan Kecemerlangan, Jurutancangan Perlis, yang berusaha Dr. Rizana Yusof, Koordinator Unit Pasca Siswazah, Jurutancangan Perlis, yang berusaha Dr. Rahayu Harun dan Rashid, Penyelaras Penerbitan, Penyelaras Penerbitan, Unit Penerbitan dan Kecemerlangan, Jurutancangan Perlis, barisan jawatankuasa, program dan para pensyarah yang saya menghormati dan juga kagumi sekalian. Pertama sekali, alhamdulillah mari kita panjatkan syukur kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana dengan limpah dan juga kurnianya pada pagi ini kita dapat bersama-sama berkumpul dalam sesi webinar. Okay, sesi webinar secara online iaitu webinar writing series Raising the Visibility of Your Research. Jadi saya ingin mengambil kesempatan di sini untuk mengucapkan terima kasih kepada pihak unit penerbitan dan kecemerlangan dan juga unit pasca siswazah, juga jawatankuasa program webinar writing series di atas usaha untuk menganjurkan sesi perkongsian pada hari ini. Juga terima kasih yang tidak terhingga juga kepada rakan saya lah, Dr. Hanafiah. Dr. Hanafiah, kita sama-sama di ICAN juga sebelum ini, okay, atas kesediaan untuk menerima jemputan daripada pihak Jawatan Rancangan Perlis. Jadi saya difahamkan tujuan diadakan program pada hari ini adalah untuk memberi garis panduan kepada penyelidik untuk membantu meningkatkan ketampakan para pensyarah, okay, melalui bidang penyelidikan, perundingan, penerbitan dan juga kepakaran. Samping itu juga, program ini juga antara lain objektifnya adalah untuk memberi pendedahan tentang platform-platform yang kita boleh guna pakai untuk meningkatkan ketampakan kita. Contohnya seperti ResearchGate, ORCID ID dan lain-lain. Dan juga mendedahkan para pensyarah tentang kepentingan, okay, untuk kita visiblekan ataupun menampakkan diri kita, okay, kepada researchers yang lain. Okay. Di mana ketampakan ini amat penting bagi membolehkan kita menaikkan nama universiti, mempromosi UiTM itu sendiri dan juga mempromosi penyelidikan yang kita jalankan. Okay, bukan sahaja di peringkat nasional tapi juga di peringkat antarabangsa. Okay, jadi saya mengharapkan semoga dengan kehadiran tuan-tuan dan perempuan pada hari ini dapat mendapat satu input yang banyak dan juga bermanfaat yang boleh digunakan pakai dan juga diaplikasi oleh tuan-tuan dan puan untuk kebaikan kita dan juga untuk career development kita lah. Okay. Jadi sekali lagi saya ingin mengucapkan, mengalu-alukan PM Dr. Hanafiah, okay, ke sesi perkongsian pada pagi ini, dan sekali lagi terima kasih kepada jawatankuasa atas usaha untuk menganjurkan program pada hari ini. Okay. Jadi saya rasa itu saja daripada saya. Saya sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you, Associate Professor Technologies Dr. Syukur Sanim for the opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let me re-highlight the main objective of this seminar as mentioned by Associate Professor Technologies Dr. Syukur Sanim just now, to grab a knowledge on how to increase or maximize the visibility of research and to seek for the techniques, plan tips and strategy to promote our research in a prominent place. So to cover this topic, our webinar today is honored with the presence of Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah. Thank you for coming, Doctor. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker to all of you. Allow me, Dr. Hafiz. Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah is the Deputy Dean Research and Industry Linkage, Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, University Technology Mara, Puncak Alam. He is Certified Hotel Industry Analyst and is the Executive Editor of the Journal of Hospitality, Tourism and Culinary Arts. He is currently the Tourism Educators Association of Malaysia Advisor and Board of Trustee for Islamic Tourism Center. Dr. Hafiz's research interests are in tourism, economics, destination competitiveness, and Muslim-friendly hospitality and tourism. Dr. Hafiz is an active author, authoring and co-authoring various research papers, mostly indexed by Scopus and Web of Science. Without further ado, we welcome Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah to deliver his speech. Carry on, Doctor.
Thank you, Madam MC. And thank you also to Dr. Syukur for the opening. Hi semua, apa khabar? I totally understand that everyone is in the school holidays mood. And it is actually something that I applaud. The effort made by UiTM Perlis to enhance your researchers' capabilities and also efficiency in doing research, at the same time supporting the KPIs of UiTM 2025, as well as enhancing the UiTM brands and also visibility. So today, perhaps I will talk a lot or talk more on the after effect or the post activities of research, which relates to research visibility and also researcher visibility. So these are two things that I'm going to touch for today's sessions. And I'm going to share my screen. So, yeah. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Hafiz, as per been introduced by the MC. And I'm currently attached with the Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management. And I think there is no need for me to introduce myself. I mean, I have been introduced quite thoroughly. But perhaps I would like to highlight that I am also the executive editor and also the editor board of these journals. And I will also share the point of view of the journal chief editors and also the managing editors on how you can play your part to make your research visible, a part of what the informations that are already in the journal websites. So today focus will be on how to maximize your visibility as a researcher. And this workshop session, I believe, will provide you with various techniques on how you can increase the visibility and hence impact of your research works. And the slides is for you. I mean, you can get the copies from the organizer. You feel free to use it and to share it with others. So, this workshop actually was, this topic was actually introduced when I was in the attached with the RMC UiTM Shah Alam, in which I think in 2016, that is where the university found that there is a need for a specific efforts to educate and to make make aware the UiTM staff on the visibility of researchers. And since then we have been giving talks, workshops throughout Malaysia system on how to register your author profiles, and also what are the system or application that are available for researchers to enhance their visibilities. So the reason why such workshop were introduced, I think perhaps Dr. Shukur and the team asked me to talk on this because question arise. I mean, first, why should I start managing my research output? I mean, we have a lot of automated system that what we say index and also handle the citation counts. But perhaps this automated system needs some a little bit of tweaking and housekeeping efforts coming from the researcher, and how you can start managing your how to start managing your research output. What are the steps needed to be taken care? I think people like me, Dr. Shuko, I mean, we are past that level because we learn from our mistake. We learn do it yourself. Yeah, and this is actually a good session for the young researcher in order for them to understand what are the initial steps that they need to take. When I talk about young researchers and what are the things that I made, the mistake that I made. One of the mistake that I made is I did not manage my author names and also my affiliation properly, in which it caused confusions in the indexing system. In which I have to email the owner of the profile system to inform them that both these two profiles are actually me, the same persons. So this thing can be say we can try to avoid if we actually know what we should do in the early stage of as a researcher. And we should know also what are the registration system that are reliable and actually sustain our profiles for long-term purposes. And also there are a few tips and tricks that were actually available in order to enhance your visibility, at the same time to enhance your citation counts. And there are a lot of author identifier, and which type of author identifier that I should focus on. So these are the questions that we are going to answer for today's sessions. And perhaps the reason why research visibility or researcher visibility is a concern among your higher education institutions is that we are currently in a competitive world. I mean, the numbers of researchers has increased quite a lot. I mean, there are also growth in scientific communication channels, meaning that we have various or multiple channels for us to venture into. But again, we should look on the most efficient one in order to make sure that we get to the bigger crowd of our research realm. And there are also growth in the numbers of peer reviewer, which actually limited our opportunity to get invitation to review papers. And by making yourself visible, by making yourself publishing in the right journals, that actually could lead to increased numbers of say requests by the editors. And we have moved forward. I mean, technology is something that it can be considered as a must. It's our basic necessity. And therefore there is a need for us to venture into technology and to understand the different format and the advance that can be offered by such technologies. And perhaps with the globalizations, collaborations with our colleagues around the world is much easier. And perhaps the COVID-19 actually lead us towards venturing into this online meeting that actually quite beneficial for research works. And perhaps there is also an increase in the frequency of multi-authored papers, where right now this is one of the trusts that the universities ask you to do, in which uh, they 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 want you to cooperate or collaborate with authors outside of your institutions. So besides that, again, this is I think Dr. Shukur I've been sharing this information. We are currently activating the Pekeliling TNCPI 1/2020, which was I'm not saying abandoned, but was put a hold for this year. But next year, this is your we say KPI, in which if you are a 54, people like me, people like Prof. Dr. Syukur have to publish 3 journal per index, in which pening juga ni because dia hanya request sebagai penulis utama, corresponding author, ataupun you are the penulis tunggal, maknanya you are the sole author from UiTM if you are doing some collaborative papers. So yeah, this is the thing, and I was told that by my dean that this KPI will be activated in 2022 punya LNPT. Well, again, that will definitely I say put UiTM back on track with the UiTM 2025. But again, this is something a concern for researchers, especially the young ones. Yeah. So yep, that's the reason why. Besides publishing, the reason UiTM want you to be visible. Yeah? You want to be visible. The hashtag be visible ni was started by Renew, RMC. And we the TNCPI office actually pushing this effort. Yeah, we want you to be visible and we want you to be seen. Yeah. So therefore, this session, I will try my best to share how to make your research visible, and so that your most valuable prospect, which is your papers, your publication, your expertise, yeah, can be found fast and easy. I want you to be found. Yeah? We want you to be found easily. Therefore we will help you to create author profile accounts, and then so that your prospect, I mean collaborators, PhD students, yeah, can get to know and get in touch with you, and you can be cited. Yeah, this is how you can enhance your publication citation, so that eventually you can crush your Google Scholar Edge Index, which reflects the quality of a researcher, especially in UiTM. So we are going to focus more. I mean, for this session, we are going to highlight how to maximize your visibility and citability. This is cause and effect, lah. And well, question arises. I mean, many of you might ask, why should I care about my online visibility? I mean, this is something that out of my core, I would say, responsibilities in UiTM. Again, you need to understand that you are a lecturer of UiTM. You are not a lecturer of ITM. And UiTM vision is one to befriend with the RU, and therefore, as UiTM want to befriend with RU, the staff, the elements of UiTM need to behave like the RU. So one of the what we say elements of behavior of RU is visibilities. Yeah, one of the things that you can boost your professional profile, make your resume online, in which people can search, people can get to know about you easier by having everything online. You can take control of research area. I mean, when you were known, when you are visible online, you are known based on your expertise, and therefore it create the perception, the brand, that Hafiz is tourism, Ahmad is business management, Ali is on crisis management, and therefore it's easy for non-academia, beside academia, people to get in touch with you. Yeah, and perhaps by doing that also it create you to gain recognition in your discipline. Yeah, and beside that, it improve your research efficiency, because research is not all about writing a paper and publish it, but again, the efficiency of that research work is actually the citation, how your research been utilized by other researchers, and how it helps them to further scientific studies. So this is what we call about research efficiency. And we also use online visibility in order to improve our citation tracking. It's easy if it is easy for researcher to find your papers, it is easy for them to read and to cite your work rather than have to go through, but maybe they have to get to you by emails and it takes time for you to reply. Yeah. So these are all the things that the external factors that actually could affect your citation counts. Yeah. And well, again, as you were known based on your discipline, it create or enhance your professional networking. Yeah. And from there, you can start to collaborate and grow your networks. And besides that, it allows wider communication between the scientific and the general public. Perhaps this online outreach could actually help you to get a invitation by TV station, radio station, to give your point of view if certain matters happens. As you can see right now, the issue of floodings and everything. I mean, the industry, the general public would like to know our point of view, and this is where online visibility is very important. That it actually, I would say, memecahkan tembok di antara young and matured researcher, because for the public they just need an expert opinions. But again, without proper networking, I think the online visibility helped me a lot in getting contacts and also opportunities. So talking about visibility, visibility ni kalau dalam bahasa Melayu dia ketampakan lah. Nampak Hafiz, adakah Hafiz ada ketampakan? So people like me senang pasal kami badan besar. Dari jauh orang nampak dah tu dia Hafiz dah main lah kan. Tapi kalau people like Dr. Syukur kuroi, tegak kan, orang tak perasan. Kan? So itu cerita pasal physical visibility. Tapi when people Google, kalau kami cari nama Dr. Syukur, can we found you? Boleh dapat. Kalau buka gambar nampak. Tapi boleh tak kami dapat email you? Is it easy for us to contact? These are some informations that actually pertinent to motivate collaborators, especially PhD students, to get in touch with you. Yeah. So today we are going to focus on research visibility and researcher visibility, but most of the time is researcher visibility. So let's look on the research visibility. Again, the question is how to make my research visible. So before we answer that question, we need to understand who are the stakeholders of our research. Who are they? So people like me who are in tourism management, so the stakeholders are actually the policy makers, MOTAC, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Tourism Malaysia, Islamic Tourism Center, MySEP, which handles Malaysian events. Yeah, these are the stakeholders besides the tourists and also the publics. Yeah, so by knowing that, you should know that these are the people who you should engage with, and you should do research within that particular realm. Yeah, and the next question, this is a big question. I mean, because knowing that lead you to the area of research that you are going to focus on. But again, after publication, after making presentation, or even after coming out with policy papers, internal policy papers, the next question will be, can they access your work? So this is something that is actually worrisome, because it was found that our internal depository itu tak mesra pelanggan. I mean, it's not user friendly. It's not easy for them to find you. Yeah. So, and besides accessing, how can they discover? It's easy for them to search, and definitely people are Googling, and by simply Googling your name, simply Googling expert in Islamic tourism, or expert in crisis management or flood management, can they discover your work? So these are the things that actually we should look beyond the research work that we want to do. So besides getting grants, besides publishing your papers, these are the things that you should look into. So these are the tips that I would like to share. If you are writing a paper, definitely choose a great title. Title ni, we somehow you can see the trends in 2020, 2021 that academicians are moving towards the newspaper style of title rather than a very rigid academic style of titles. The title punya write up. So rather than a study on blah 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 blah, but now they talk about mirror on the walls. I'm afraid to travel. Does perceived health risk affect tourist travel intention? So these are the things that actually editors, even the editors looks on. A good title actually attract um, readership. Yeah. And write a fitting abstract. The abstract should, I mean, we are not doing a thesis, we are doing a paper. So a paper should focus on using layman term. I understand that some of you who are in the SNT, it's quite rigid. I mean, very technical. But social science, you are much you have freedom to make your abstract a little bit relaxed. And can be understand a layman. And use consistent author name. So right now, I mean, I made a mistake. I have papers that I use Muhammad Hafiz, Muhammad Hanafiah, and Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah. So now I have 3 author name, but I have corrected that particular issues. And right now, my real name is Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah, but my author name is Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah. So I shorten my author name so that my author name is Hanafiah MH. Yeah, so I mean, you need to be consistent with your author name and correct affiliation. So somehow UiTM berubah, dulu Shah Alam sekarang ni Selangor. So make sure that you use UiTM Cawangan Selangor atau Cawangan Perlis, and University Technology Mara, bukannya Mara University of Technology. So if you found that the editor tried to change it to English word, insist that you use the right term. Now, but most of the top editors, top publishers already known about University Technology Mara. I mean, using bahasa Melayu. And during submissions, these are the things that I would suggest. Search for open access journal, meaning free journals, but offer free access. Yeah. But then if you have problem, okay, I can see questions there. Yeah, I can answer the question. Mana nak jawab ni? Mana soal?
Yes, can Dr. Hafiz carry on. If you want to,
I think I answer
yeah,
later.
if you want to,
Boleh ya?
boleh
Saya
Doktor,
jawab.
silakan.
Dori, tanya je soalan Dori. Kita memang lecturer kan, suka jawab. Kan? Dah letih dah mengajar student mau tutup kamera kan. Orang tanya-tanya pun klik pun
Sila.
Okay, baik. So beside submitting for open access journal, submit to popular publisher. This is something lah, mungkin you rasa saya ni jadi apa? I was paid by Elsevier, paid by Emerald, but again they have a very good system to support your research visibility. I mean, their website is always up to date. I mean, very user friendly. The user interface is very easy. So I would suggest you to go with that. But again, I'm not promoting paid journals. Maknanya kalau you nak go with Emerald ke yang bayar sampai 10,000 sustainability, you can use that. Tak ada masalah. You nak bayar atau tak nak bayar, tak ada masalah. Cuma if you have grant, you can pay. But usually I will urge you to go for free journal. Maknanya walaupun dia bukan open access, ada copyright, tapi no worries because eventually you can share your paper in ResearchGate, you can actually share your papers dekat Facebook, you can always share your papers dekat dekat other medium. At the same time, most university in Malaysia and around the world subscribe with their their database. So your paper can be found easily, don't worry. And after publication, ini benda yang kadang-kadang kita, the Malaysian culture ada orang kata kalau share sangat kat Facebook ni kata dia belagak. Totally two different thing. Jangan share gambar steering kereta dengan jam. Itu kita boleh kata dia macam try to be proud of that. Tapi if you share about your work, oh, my paper has been published, from by this by Scopus gitu. If you are interested to read, please let me know, and please do cite my work. I mean, that is actually promotion. You are actually acting as an institutions that promote your research work, and you are doing a favor for UiTM. Perhaps sebenarnya UiTM lah yang patut buat. Okay, Hafiz, we have 70 publication this year, this month. Macam tu kan. So, but personally you can do that. And share your preprints and academic group, ResearchGate, Academia. And you can upload your paper in ResearchGate. If you have issue with copyright, you can upload it independently, in which when people request it, you can share it with them, because you are allowed as an author, as the corresponding author, as the first author, you are allowed to share your research work, your paper, and you can perhaps after publication, the biggest issue is that everyone thought that Google Scholar will index your paper automatically. Not really, not really. But most of the time Google Scholar cepat, because the web crawler works very good. But again, sometimes the Google Scholar, the indexing too is not complete. Therefore, you need to do some housekeeping. I will share with you how to do housekeeping in Google Scholar later. And last but not least, beside papers, research grant. When you are applying for research grant, you should also share in your social media. I mean, I am currently preparing a proposal for FRGS 2022. I'm going to focus on what area? Flood management. Perhaps I'm looking for some collaborators. Please contact me or DM me. You are getting collaborations, isn't it? And if you are posting that particular information in the SG Doctorate Support Group, well, you are going to get. I mean, there will be some PhD student or master student who will be offering their help, maybe perhaps with some benefits as RA or what. Share your research grant. Oh, thank you. Alhamdulillah, I'm able to. I just got a good news. I'm getting a grant. No worries. Kalau nak bagi tahu value pun tak ada masalah, because kalau you kata you dapat grant sejuta pun, no worries. It will not alert pencuri-pencuri atau perompak-perompak, because they tahu that money is not with you, the money is in the university, kan. And share your research grant activities. I mean, when you do your data collection, jangan share pergi data collection in Langkawi. Jangan. Elaborate a little bit. This is what we call storytelling. Kalau you pernah pergi tour, ada tour guide, tour leader, kerja dia adalah storytell. Oh, this is Kuala Lumpur, this is what is what. So you have to share. I'm in Langkawi today for data collection. We are interviewing 10 fishermen, assessing on the impact of tourism towards their their industry. So actually, perhaps pengarah perikanan Malaysia baca, biasanya sekarang ni, because information can be shared very easy. I'm telling you, I did the same thing. I shared in Facebook. Somehow, 2 days later, someone from Ministry of MIDA, Malaysian Industry, called me, asking me to assist them in certain matter. And I asked them, where do you get my name? I mean, there's a lot of people who are in tourism. What happened is that I shared in my Facebook, and someone who are prominent professors shared my posting. They just screenshot, share it in their sekolah punya group. Dia kata, oh ya Ahmad, adalah nama Ahmad. Ni bukan tempat hang ke? Ni ada pensyarah UiTM pergi buat study tempat hang. And that pengarah take my screenshot, dia share pula dengan dia punya staff. Please contact Dr. Hafiz, get him in touch with us as soon as possible. You can see, this is where we eliminate the barrier of red tapes. Kalau zaman dulu, sorry, I guna bahasa Melayu sikit. Kalau zaman dulu, any opportunity will go through dekan. Daripada dekan, okay, we are searching for this expert. Dekan will be the one who decide lah. So I'm not going to talk about that process, how the opportunity was given. But now, kita punya game tu dah berubah dah. Dia punya game landscape dah berubah. The landscape of getting opportunities have changed. Maybe you as a young researcher, you are not going to get that top-down punya project, but perhaps you are going to get it directly based on your visibility. So please do that. And I'm sharing this based on my personal experience. Yalah, I mean maybe later nanti ada lah soalan tanya wouldn't the dekan marah ke apa kan. I think that most of dean or rector dah faham dah how the research landscape have changed. Again, it goes back to best man win lah. Siapa yang terkehadapan, maka dia akan dapat dulu, merasa dulu benda tu. So kalau semua terkehadapan pun tidak ada masalah, because at the end of the day, opportunity tu akan tiba pada you berdasarkan rezeki dan juga berdasarkan your credibility. So those things shouldn't be an issue. We are not against the system. We are trying to find the loopholes of the system and to get opportunities by our own. That is my principles. So if you're talking about publication, go for high impact journals. I mean, that's the reason why whenever I talk about FYP to publishing your FYP, publishing your research work, I always told my participants saying that I ni pada ikut perangai Mahathir sikit. Rasa hebat. Dr. Mahathir ni dia satu perangai dia tu, dia ada perangai dia rasa dia hebat. So dia selalu cakap dia hebat dan dia buat kerja benda-benda yang hebat. Kadang-kadang benda-benda yang tak masuk akal. This is, I mean bukan Mahathir lah. I mean the next Prime Minister pun buat banyak benda. I mean talking about the PMB 118. I mean people ask you, why you nak kena buat bangunan paling tinggi? Kenapa you kena buat sepang circuit ni kan? Tapi sama juga dengan game akademik, bila you ada artikel, jangan limit your expectation. Go beyond that. I mean, most of my paper, I memang submit kat Q1. Tak kisahlah paper budak FYP, budak final year project, budak master, budak PhD, I submit je kat Q1. Because kita tak tahu our level, our standard. Kita nak dapatkan input daripada the best one. The best person to respond to our paper are the chief editor. Chief editor ni yang Q1. Kalau dia reject, tak ada masalah. Tapi kita nak tengok dia punya komen. Apa komen dia tu? So baru ni ada saya bagi talk dekat UiTM Kelantan. After a while, satu staff UiTM Kelantan ni contact saya. Kata, doktor, saya ada paper ni, minta doktor tolong adjust, modify dia, buat balik. So saya baca, saya dapat banyaknya masalah. Saya pun betulkan, saya spend like 1 week betulkan balik betul-betul. So saya kata, okay, now you submit. So ajar dia submit. Dia submit kat Q1 Q1. So baru je semalam dia hantar doktor rejected. So saya ingat saya nak hantar dekat Journal Malaysia. Ini satu attitude ataupun satu action yang salah. So saya kata kat dia, jangan ingat hantar kat Journal Malaysia you boleh publish. Now you dapat rejection daripada Q1 dan dia bagi correction. Dia bagi review, dia bagi tahu ni apa ni salah, merepek apa ni. So satu benda yang saya kata dia, good news is that the journal bila dia dapat paper you, dia based on the editor punya reading, paper you been sent to reviewer. So one thing is that your paper ada quality yang dia orang rasa bagus, which is good. And the second thing, the reviewer give comment walaupun dia reject. So what should we do? Betul, dia baru bagi tadi saya email dia, amend the paper according to the reviewer comment. Kalau dia kata ni missing, tambah. Kalau dia kata ini buang. And then after the paper have been amended, then you submit to another journal. Tapi bukan Journal Malaysia, Journal Q1 ke Q2 mungkin bawah sikit, lower kan sikit. Tapi journal luar antarabangsa yang Elsevier, Emerald, Wiley, Springer. So I hope he can do that lah. So these are the reason why we need to do that. Because we need to go for internal publication, because internal publication easily been reached by international readers. And international readers meaning that high citation. The market, kalau you nak jual kek lapis, you jual dekat Perlis je, macam contohnya macam you punya harum manis, kalau you jual kat Perlis je, market dia kecil. Kalau jual kat Malaysia je, market dia kecil. Tapi bila dia dah start jual tu Jepun, semua tu, and now everyone dah merasa dan demand daripada international lebih tinggi. So this is the same concept with publications. Co-author kena cari high impact researchers, kena work with big names. Kalau saya pernah dengar seorang nama dia Jackie Chan ni dia lecturer daripada UUM. Dia muda daripada saya, like dia baru dalam 31 tahun. Age index corpus dia dekat 20 lebih. Age index corpus dia 20 lebih. So dia punya mantra dia kata work with white people. Kan dia kata I will not work with non-white. Kata dia akan make sure paper dia ada white people. So white people ni maknanya orang putih lah. Ataupun international authorship. And there's a lot of variety of journal for larger readership, yes. And definitely, I think you have been exposed with how to find the journals from Master Journalist of Web of Science and also Scopus, which is Simago lah. Okay, so that is research visibility. But now we are going to focus on researcher visibility. Kita ada banyak author profile yang kita banyak dekat dalam dunia ni, banyaklah globally, but these are the most popular and the most efficient author profile. So untuk this immigration ni maknanya dia akan collect you punya data dan juga dia juga ada buat citation tracker. So kita ada ORCID ID, kita ada researcher ID and Scopus. Researcher ID ialah Pablons and Scopus author profiles. Untuk research community, kita ada ResearchGate ataupun akademia lah, tapi saya suka dengan ResearchGate pasal dia very interactive. And search engine with author profile, kita ada Google Scholar, dan UiTM author profile page, kita ada Prisma and UiTM Expert. Ini saya rasa Dr. Syukur masa jadi rektor ni dia akan push you all lah, because UiTM Expert ni didapati bahawa banyak yang tak update di information. Because eventually nanti UiTM Expert punya online CV tu akan di-attach dalam kita punya staff directory. So maknanya whenever PhD student dia buka kita punya faculty new website, dia akan nampak nama kita, dia tekan dekat situ, dia akan transfer ke UiTM Expert. So kalau you punya profile tak update, maka that reflects bad image lah kepada pelajar tersebut kalau tengok apa ni tak update kan. So kita akan tengok benda ni, dan how this profile benefit you. Pertama ialah all your profile information can be put in one place, increase the visibility of your research, and then you can do some self-promoting and marketing tools, dan juga there's a lot of engaging content. Dia banyak bagi metrics, Asia Index lah, how many article be published this year, kita tengok nanti. So what should you do? The first one is correct your affiliation. Make sure nanti jangan buat jenis yang nampak ni, lama-lama ni. University of Technology Mara lah kan. Kadang-kadang salah lah kan. Lepas tu guna Pulau Pinang. So sebenarnya it should be University of Technology Mara, Cawangan Pulau Pinang. So that the affiliation to is University Technology Mara. Okay. Dan be particular on the authorship, main author, co-author and corresponding author. So usually bila we work with our student name will be the main author, kita akan jadi corresponding author. Ataupun you can actually put both of you, katakan you ada 4 orang dan 2 as corresponding author. Ada multiple corresponding author. Boleh, you can request to the journals. So this is my author name dan juga my affiliation dan juga my email. So you can see that I tak guna Gmail, tak guna Yahoo. Ni salah satu orang kata point untuk rejection, bila you kata you daripada UiTM tapi you gunakan the email that are not organisation email. So please use this and update your author profile, terutamanya dalam Prisma. Prisma ni I don't see any problem because for the past 4 years kita guna my ATP, and since then everybody have to update their Prisma in order for that particular publication to appear in your My ATP. But previously we have problem with this. It was not updated. Okay, and you also need to focus on your UiTM Expert. So update you punya information ni semua, you boleh tambah-tambah ni. So just to share, ini adalah YouTube.
Selama gap year ini, aku banyak menggunakan Grammarly untuk menulis personal statement yang nanti akan aku.
So I'm sharing this.
Dr. Hafiz. This videos no sounds.
Tak ada sound.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that is just a very simple way of how to make your online CV ni visible kat email. Kalau tanya saya punya email kalau saya compose, saya letak macam-macam. Saya letak Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Researcher ID, OKID and also UiTech Expert lah. The reason why I tak put UiTech Expert because pada ketika itu UiTech Expert tak lagi update. But now UiTech Expert dah updated then it will be used in 2022 to the fullest lah. So eventually bila kita macam ni maknanya bila orang dapat email kita, dia akan boleh tengok kita punya information from here. And next is how to engage in research network communities. So inilah steps in creating a research person profile. Ini a bit technical saya bagi tahu step by step Setiap researcher, every researcher, katakan you ni baru masuk UiTM, eventually the first thing that you need to do is to create your Google Scholar profile. Google Scholar profile ni pakai Gmail je lah. Pakai Gmail saja dan dia akan automatic create dan you can search your paper ke any artikel dia akan kadang-kadang dia automatically dia dah jumpa dah nama you. The next is to populate your Prisma dengan UiTech Expert. So because bila you upload dalam Prisma dengan UiTech Expert ni, it will also be crawled by Google Scholar. And then the third one is to create Pablons. Ni kalau young researcher, you can create Pablons profile. Nanti akan tunjuk kat you kenapa Pablons ni very good, very interesting. So Pablons ni is actually research Web of Science, untuk Web of Science. So nama dia Pablons. Dan you can link all the Web of Science publication to the Pablons account. And beside that, you can also add your reviewer punya past review yang you buatkan untuk jurnal lain, dia boleh record benda tu. Next is to create this ORCID profile, ORCID ID ni, with profile yang mana dia sebenarnya ialah sama macam UiTM Expert tapi dia globalnya dan dia dikira sebagai online CV. So people can view your ORCID ID. And nanti saya tunjukkan apa. ORCID ID ni kelebihan dia, ni jahatnya profile ni. Yang Google Scholar cannot communicate with Pablon. Pablon cannot communicate with Scopus. Because Pablons is owned by Web of Science, Scopus is owned by Elsevier. But through ORCID ID, bila you ada Pablons, you can combine these two, Pablons and Scopus ID punya paper dalam ORCID ID. So ORCID ID ni macam dia complement both this dan dia consolidate kedua-dua ni. The only thing that you cannot create is Scopus. Scopus you tak boleh create author profile. Because Scopus author profile hanya akan di-create once you publish your paper in Scopus. So bila katakan your first paper is Scopus, automatically Scopus akan create your author profile dan you link you punya account dengan this profile number dia. So from there, the best thing is to do with all this information ni semua ni, kita akan ada ORCID yang mana dia consolidate the online research profile with links to your scholarly research output. So Google Scholar, ini saya dah bagi step. Kalau dekat bengkel saya memang duduk sekali lah kita buat sama-sama. Tapi you can follow the step, log on the scholargoogle.com, masukkan, kalau you dah ada Gmail, masukkan account Gmail. Sekarang ni semua UiTM ada Gmail kan, so you can use that. Click on add publication, edit your profile, and then you can focus on your My Citation and make it public. Jadikan dia public Okay, remember verify the spelling of your name. Enter your affiliation, enter university email for verification and constantly check for profile for duplicates and error. Macam mana cara dia? Ni. Google Scholar dekat profile, kena sign in lah, senang. Bila dah sign in, ni masukkan nama ni. Kalau boleh jangan pakai ni lah, pakailah UiTM, you all kan. Kalau you, kadang-kadang dia dah create dah untuk awak. Biasanya kalau UiTM Gmail sekarang ni memang dia dah create lah. So masukkan nama semua ni dan cari paper awak, nama. Cari paper, okay. So eventually this is the looks of Google Scholar. Dia akan tunjuk nama awak, University Teknologi Mara. Cuma kekurangan Google Scholar is easy for people to find us, but they did not release the email. So still, it's a good referral of your profile, but it is not the best place for potential PhD student to get your contact information. And dia akan cite lah paper tu accordingly, dan dia juga akan report the age index, ya, ini since 2016 untuk 5 years, dan dia akan report berapa banyak citation yang terima setiap tahun. And I'm going to share to you. You can see that my citation meningkat tinggi sepanjang tahun ni. Ada sebab ya. Nanti kalau tengok total sebenarnya sebelum 2013 saya punya citation very low walaupun saya publish paper. I'll share to you why tiba-tiba dia naik. OCID ID sama juga. Dia is a central registry. Yeah. So dia combine between Scopus and also Pablons ataupun Web of Science. Yeah. You can create here. Buka you punya OCID tu, website dia, sign in, masukkan information dekat sini, simple je. Dan jangan risaulah kalau cerita pasal OCID ni, kalau author profile ni tak payahlah you pening-pening nak buat password berbeza-beza. Buat je password yang sama, password yang senang you nak pakai. ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4 ke tak kisahlah. Kalau boleh a bit complicated than that lah. But don't worry because bukan ada duit pun dalam ni. Kan? So the most important thing is you create the account. So by creating this account, you akan dapat OCID ID. Ni kalau you nak publish kat paper dekat Elsevier, Emerald sekarang ni, ataupun seterusnya, dia akan minta you masukkan OCID ID punya number ni. Because dia senang nak tag ataupun index citation you nanti. Dan you can see here, saya punya profile ni, I have added researcher ID ataupun Scopus, Pablons Web of Science dan juga Scopus Auto ID. So bermakna semua maklumat ni dia synergize dengan these two profile. And yeah, well again you have to look here, dan you tengok dia, saya ada 2 Scopus Auto ID. Ini lah kesilapan saya. Because eventually the Scopus they create two profile, 2 ID untuk saya, dan saya dah berjaya merge kedua-dua ni. Jadi dia buat dia punya bot tu dia dah combine, ya. Okay, Pablons. Pablons ni pun something very interesting. Dulu dia researcher ID, now Pablons, ya. So Pablons profile is similar to Scopus Auto Identifier. Dia adalah something yang lebih better than Scopus. Kenapa? Because selain daripada publication, dia juga list your verified peer review. Peer review ni senang je. Kalau you ada pengalaman, ya, bila you ada pengalaman, you review paper. Bila you dah submit you punya paper tu, you akan dapat thank you email. So thank you email tu apa yang saya dapat je, saya akan forward the email kepada reviews@pablons.com. Memang dia instruction dia macam tu. Dia please forward and thank you. So tak payah you nak tulis nama, nak isi orang. You forward the email, automatically dalam masa seminggu 2 minggu dia akan index bahawa Hafiz Hanafiah dah buat satu lagi review dengan jurnal macam ni. Dan dia beritahu pula jurnal tu Web of Science atau tidak. Verified editorial board membership, ini senang lagi. Kalau you jadi editor board, you add benda tu dan letakkan link jurnal tu, dia akan tengok nama you ada, dia akan tambah. Dan editor's record pun boleh juga kalau you jadi guest editor. Okay, so kalau tengok sini, this is Pablon ni website lah. This is Pablon. Ni saya punya Pablon ni account. Okay, so kalau tak ada ni, you boleh, kalau saya log out ni, you boleh register here. So this is how you can do that. And you can watch this video, nanti you boleh tengok dekat video ni macam mana nak register lah. Okay, so this is the website, register, and then masukkan maklumat you. Senang je, sama je, email, password. Itu je dia nak. Okay, dan dia akan tengok you new publication, dia akan search for you berdasarkan nama author tu, dan you add it accordingly lah. Okay, so this is my Pablons. Okay, apa kelebihan dia? Dia tengok publication, berapa banyak publication, dari 64 yang index by website. Total time cited very low. Nampak tak dia boleh katakan like ratio dia very small. Age index 6. Verified review, dia beritahu saya dah review 126 artikel. 126 artikel yang saya review. Dan juga saya juga dah jadi guest editor 6 kali. Okay. Dan publication dia beritahu, oh ni adalah number, ni nombor 642 ni adalah berapa banyak paper yang saya publish dekat tempat tu. So you can see here lah. Ini adalah saya punya publication. So ada 47 publication lah. So nanti you should have that. Dan kalau ada web of sign, apa ni web of sign. Maknanya dia index web of sign. Kalau macam paper macam hospitality and tourism ni ataupun current issues ni, dia sebenarnya ialah scopus. Dia masukkan juga, tapi dia tak highlight scopus lah because dia company punya policy kan. So tapi this is scopus Dan editor board membership dia highlight dan dia beritahu, oh yang ni adalah web of sign, yang ni scopus. Verified editor's review. Okay, sama juga ni. And then verified reviews. Kalau kat sini bila student PhD cari you, dia bila nampak benda ni, dia tahu, this guy do a lot on Journal of Islamic Marketing. So right now, I receive a lot of requests from PhD student to do Islamic tourism punya studies. And so you can see here lah, 10-8 semua ni. So this is actually reflects your expertise. Last but not least is Scopus. So Scopus ni seperti mana saya beritahu, dia akan create your profile by their own. You tak boleh create. But you can, dia kata there are two ways to create Scopus author ID, document search in Scopus ataupun author search in Scopus. Yang ni lah, kalau tengok sini, dekat sini lah. Ni lah Scopus dia. So you can search author, tak nama, ingat kita letak nama last name. Search dia dan dia akan tunjuk, nampak tak saya ada 2. So contoh 2 ni biasanya what happen is that kalau saya view sini, paper apa ni? Ni paper yang baru saya publish ni. Baru je publish dan dia bukan ni. So what happens is that kalau macam ni, kalau berlaku dah pada you, what happens senang je, because benda ni saya dah sign in. Ni saya punya account. Saya pun pakai email UiTM. So tekan je 1 dan 2 ni, klik the box, then request to merge authors. Okay, so just review the request. The preferred name will be Hanafiah Hafiz. Submit request. Done. So dia akan ambil masa 4 minggu untuk proses. Senang sangat. Dan ini tadi lah macam mana kita cari semua ni kan. Can you edit your author profile? Yes, you can. Macam tadi saya buat tu, saya merge tu sebenarnya editing lah. Kadang-kadang salah, kita boleh betulkan balik dan ianya akan meningkatkan balik lah total citation dan juga index saya. Okay, you can request to merge authors and request author details collection. Kalau universiti yang berubah, tiba-tiba you from UTP masuk UiTM, you can request to do that. So this is the edit profile. You can edit it here. Kalau you kata salah macam ni, saya buat Shah Alam, saya maintain Shah Alam because dia recognize you ITM ni kat Shah Alam. But di sini dia juga offer matrix overview, berapa dokumen, berapa kali citation. Nampak tak perbezaan antara Pablons dengan Scopus? Numbers of document dengan citation berbeza. Index masih sama berdasarkan paper tu. Dan you can see from 2010, saya banyak publish paper. Ni publish. Ni paper publish. Yang line biru gelap ni is actually citation. And you can see how dia jump tinggi since 2015-16. Ni yang tengoklah ni tahun depan. Belum lagi Okay, daripada tak ada. Ni kosong ni. Kosong, 1, 2 je. Dan dia naik pada 77 So, dan how kita boleh add our OKID, kita link kan. Bila kita linkkan OKID, automatic dalam Scopus pun dia keluar bahawa this information is currently being crawled by OKID. Okay, and next is ResearchGate. Ini saya tahu ramai mungkin ada, ramai yang tak ada, tapi inilah the reason why suddenly my citation goes up tremendously. The reason being is that somehow I found that it's not easy for me to download my own paper from Google. Maknanya I have to go through the hassle of opening my easy access, library punya portal and have to download it. And I receive emails, luckily some of my paper ada corresponding author email from author saying that they cannot get the full paper. So they have to email me, which I I replied accordingly. But then I found that ResearchGate actually helps me a lot in sharing my paper and allowing people to download it automatically. So ResearchGate ni is actually macam Facebook for us. It is a free social networking site. It provides free access to certain application, and you can do publication database sharing. That's the best thing. Yeah? And you can register your name and you can add your new research. So kita boleh any publication, saya tambah dalam tu. Dan eventually they can download automatically tanpa nak ni. Ada yang saya add my research independently, maknanya dia orang terpaksa request. Dan bila request, dia akan saya akan submit lah. So just to share with you, this is my ResearchGate. So this is my ResearchGate. Let's see email. Macam ni kan. Kadang-kadang dia ada dapat ni full text request. So, paper ni full text request photo taking, dia nak minta paper ni. So saya kata dia pasal dia minta tu masih lagi dalam publication stage. So saya kata tak apa, dia kata okay, dan saya submit. You may down here. Thank you Mr. Hafiz. That's it. So banyak lagi ni. Okay. Bila dia minta, kita bagilah. So this is how. Dan juga from here you boleh nampak juga kata application yang mana dia boleh recommend publication. So you have new citation. So sebenarnya ResearchGate ni bukan tengok pada citation tapi lebih kepada database lah. Maknanya you can share your paper senang, mudah. Okay, next is engage in social networking communities. So this is another thing lah. Kalau boleh turun buat Facebook lah. Kalau boleh janganlah bawa nama Putera Kacak ke Puteri Bunian ke apa kan. Bawa nama you, Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah. The Facebook profile dengan Facebook page berbeza. You can have your Facebook page, tapi saya prefer lebih suka guna Facebook profile. So kalau you buka saya punya Facebook profile, you boleh nampak dua elemen je yang saya share. Either about my family or about my works. Ada juga argument kata doktor takkan nak share pasal family dalam Facebook kan. Dan ada juga orang yang memang very rigid, dia kata Facebook is for family, tak juga. So sebenarnya Facebook lebih senang because you can join doctorate support group ni, macam ni contohnya. So doctorate support group ni pun antara yang popular lah among researcher. But the reason why I mix antara personal ataupun my personal matter dan juga publication, because beside sharing my work, my research work and everything, I also want to highlight that orang yang memang sibuk dengan research doesn't mean that dia tidak ada life. They enjoy the life. So I always practice that work hard, play harder lah. So I just want to reflect that actually I'm doing my work, at the same time I'm enjoying my life with my family. So kadang-kadang saya pergi data collection, saya buat paper, waktu bercuti, tapi people can see that, and perhaps that actually satu usaha saya lah untuk nak membetulkan persepsi orang bahawa kalau orang yang hardworking ni dia tak ada life. Sebenarnya orang hardworking ni dia punya life dia pun ada, tapi cuma kami punya tabung sosial tu kami kecil je. Kami memang, the family have been practice that our tabung sosial ni, maknanya kita punya social needs dia very small. Rather than ada setengah orang tu macam perlukan third, fourth vacation in order for them to feel fulfilled. Tapi macam people like me, memang our very small. For a short vacation, walking around the parks actually fill up our social needs. But at the same time, we can do our work. Okay, so this is an example of UiTM researchers on Facebook. Macam Prof Hanafiah, she also shared a lot of input pointers. Dr. Nozaidi ni, Prof Nozaidi ni pun sama lah, memang suka share lah. Nampak berapa ramai yang like 437, dan saya juga suka menulis, dan saya juga menulis bukan dalam bahasa Melayu, bahasa Inggeris pun saya tulis dua-dua. Ni saya cerita pasal ranking. So this is something that you have to do that. Just to reflect. Daripada sharing pasal Hanafi semua tu, better kita buat benda-benda macam ni lah. Hanafi tu kita baca je lah, kita gelak-gelak sikit, lepas tu kita buat kerja kita. That's my style lah. Dan selain daripada Facebook, yes, this is a good opportunity. I think you can mungkin a friend of mine, Dr. Abdul Rahim Rizwan daripada UiTM Melaka, he just shared about link ni. Saya cari dia pula. Marah dia ke saya duduk kacau dia pula kan. Sekejap. Rahim Rizwan. Okay. So this is another profolic researcher. Sekejap. Mana ada tulis ke? Tak ada. He just shared. Dia nama dia. Dia kata dia dah kerja kat Indonesia because dapat appointment letter as a keynote speaker. Dia kata, guys, visibility at LinkedIn is good because dia baru je buka pada March 2021, 6,000 follower and dapat lantikan luar sebagai visiting professor, dapat connection with industry player, MOU, research collaboration. So this is one of the opportunity that you might want to venture into lah LinkedIn. Saya pun tak tahu macam how to pronounce it. Is it LinkedIn or LinkedIn? Okay. Or last but not least is to create your own website lah. Ini masa saya bosan-bosan tu, masa saya nak apply Profesor Madya tu. So because saya juga champion visibility, so saya tunjuk lah. I use free website wix.com buat website ni, and I put macam ada buat blogging, ada CV, so they can download. So you can see here, this is my website. And so semua ni ada link maknanya kalau tekan ni dia keluar terus. Research Pablon saya kan, dan Google Scholar saya, dan Facebook saya. Senang nak cari. Lepas tu Instagram saya ada juga kalau masuk kan. Okay, so ini semua ni, ini pun semua saya linkkan ni. Maknanya past president saya link, maknanya dia buka pada tourism educators. Kalau journal ni saya buka journal, dia buka pada website journal. So beside you are visible, you juga memvisiblekan other you punya research elements lah, journal semua ni. So last but not least, I think I think I have been speaking 1 jam lebih. It's better for me to answer question rather than sharing, because you can read these slides. So I believe that the effort done by UiTM Police is actually quite good, because if UiTM Police staff focus, put a little bit of effort on visibility, it creates a chance that your research work to be noticed, to be used, and to have impact. Impact maknanya citation count lah. And if you did that, I strongly believe that your reputation and your chances to success in academic world will be there. Side of rezeki, but being visible is something that good. It's quite good. It's actually quite good. But being visible and impactful is what we want to have. And as in academia, this is the landscape of academia world. Things have changed, and we have to embrace the change. So yeah, I think that's all from me, and I think we can go straight to answer the questions. Boleh ke, Madam Moderator?
Ya, boleh. Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah. That was definitely a solid, informative and stimulating presentation. You have addressed the purpose of being visible and its benefit at the early of the presentation. And with the story about the demand in academician, the KPIs and the current scenario happen. And Dr. Hafiz also have a touch about the research efficiency that correlate with the frequency of citation. And Dr. Hafiz also has tell us all about an important tools for researchers, just like UiTM Expert Link or database, Scopus, Pablon, ORCID, and ResearchGate. So motivating, and I believe this is a really good and useful information. And what to say, it is just a must-have strategy for all of the researchers. And ladies and gentlemen, the floor now is open for any question from the participant. You can unmute the microphone and preferable have your camera turned on. Alright, so do you
Okay.
have any question?
Madam C, saya cuba jawab soalan dekat chat dulu ya.
Okay,
So,
you want to
ada
read
satu
it by
soalan
yourself
ni.
or?
Tak apa, it's okay, don't worry, saya boleh baca.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Doctor,
Carry
if
on.
paper has been published in non-open source database, can we make it freely available? Definitely. Let me share my screen. Definitely. Apa? Kita punya paper. Apa sahaja orang nak marah kita kan? So what happened here, if you want to publish your paper, this is your ResearchGate, add new research. Kita pergi pada katakan you publish article, journal article ya. So dia akan minta you upload the file. So saya kata saya upload saya punya file ni. Okay, dia akan upload. Dan nampak tak sini dia kata add both a public and private file, add only a public file, add only a private file. Okay, so if the editor ataupun the journal tu insist that bahawa you punya paper ni ada copyright, you just click dekat ni, add only a private file. So what happen if you kalau you add both public and private file, you will be informed bila when researcher search for your paper, they found it in ResearchGate, they can download it out without your consent, but you will be informed. That your paper have been downloaded. Tapi public and private file ni biasanya kita it's a backup for your co-authors. Tapi biasanya it's either tu lah, you boleh pilih ada dua ni. Kalau public file, they can download it without your knowledge. They download and read it. Tapi kalau add only a private file, this is good for copyrighted punya paper, where when you opt for this option, the reader tu bila they found your paper, they can request article. So dia tak boleh download automatically, dia request. So you are going to receive notification in ResearchGate that Ali is requesting to download this paper. Do you allow? So you yes. Bila you tekan yes, Ali boleh download directly. So this is actually similar if Ali actually email to you. Hi, my name is Ali. I'm from University Technology Malaysia, and I would like to get a copy of your article. Then you email. Yes, please. This is the paper. So daripada kita buat email, nak jawab email pun lambat kan, kita beli email UI macam ni kadang-kadang kalau tengok staff-staff kita sampai 2,000, 3,000 email tak baca. Dan alasan dia paling senang, tak baca, tak jumpa ataupun spam. So menggunakan ResearchGate ni ianya lebih efisien. So you buka ResearchGate, nampak ada orang nak, kita bagi. Tapi ini untuk copyrighted. Kalau yang memang open access, yang jurnal-jurnal yang tak ada kisah pasal copyright, add only a public file, because the editors actually lebih suka orang jumpa paper, because bila paper you dijumpai, I mean they found it, they can cite it. When they cite it, citation metric naik, the journal citation metric juga will increase. So this is an option for you if you want to publish that lah. Okay, so yeah, please do that. Okay, and Ruhaila also asked me, what if the journal requires us to use surname and initial? Saleh M, would that affect the surname should be your father name. Kita orang apa nama Melayu kan, Malaysian kan, dia memang ada nama. Saya pun baru tahu that actually you bila you register nama your anak-anak nanti in the future lah, you tak payah buat nama you pun sebenarnya. Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara benarkan. Maknanya kalau nama anak Nur Hayati binti Muhammad Hafiz, you can letak nama Nur Hayati je. So Nur Hayati binti pun tak payah dah. Kalau nak Nur Hayati Muhammad Hafiz pun boleh, Nur Hayati satu nama pun boleh, because itu ialah dia punya kad pengenalan kan. So yeah, if you ask me personally, better letak nama father lah, because kalau normally kalau APA, kalau katakan biasanya student master ni, bila they found you, dia nampak nama you, dia akan automatically, dia orang kadang-kadang ada yang manually develop their punya references. So it's better for you to use one single lah. Yeah, sure, you can, Dr. Farha, you can get the slides for you. I mean, you can also use my slides, give talks to your student ke your colleague, use it. And yes, that's only question from the chat lah. Kalau ada soalan impromptu, please do ask me.
Okay, to others participant. So do you have any question to Dr. Hafiz? So let's voice out any queries regarding this topic, how to increase and promote your research globally. So this is the platform for you to know more. Dr. Hafiz, I have one question, Doctor. So
Sure.
after we receive a notification from a journal, let's say your paper is accepted for publication, right? So at that moment, we don't have the what we call the number for the journal, the volume yet. So can we put the accepted paper in the ResearchGate platform? Or we need to wait for a while after we receive the final volume or page number or a year stated there, and then after that we can post in the
If you
certificate.
want to
So
share the
when?
preprint, Dr. Solhan, if you want to share the preprints, well, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Tapi, because we have a very rigid indexing system, and eventually we want people to cite the paper accordingly. So perhaps I think it's better for you to wait until the article has been given volume and also issue number. Because kita tak nak nanti kata assume this is scenario you upload their paper dalam ResearchGate and your paper is good. Your paper is good. And people start citing your paper. But without the volume and issue number. I mean, it's a preprint. It's a preprint. And eventually, the next researcher who actually read the article that cite your paper, they will continue citing using that incomplete information. So, you akan rugi katakan tiba-tiba while waiting tu ada 10 orang cite, you rugi 10 citation. So that is my point lah. So mungkin bagi I understand your concern because you want to because you want to share the knowledge knowledge usually should be imparted easily. But again, it goes back lah to the metrics. So if you ask me, be patient, wait. But there are also journals such as macam Emerald, dia banyak buat early cite. Early cite ni maknanya paper tu is published. You can download the paper from the journal part of the website, but it was not given any volume and issue because they still yet to upload it in to dia punya macam perusahaan negara lah. So dia belum update lagi. So what I can say is that you can do that, tapi dia akan early cite lah. But that will be counted in your Google Scholar and also in Scopus because paper kadang-kadang Emerald ni a little bit pelik sikit because the paper that were not given volume and issue is index first in Scopus. That is my experience. So thank you, Dr. Solhan. I can see.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiz, for
Yes.
that great answer. All right, so now we move to the next question from T. Ramaya. What is your what is your take on a paper with 10 authors?
Okay, ini Prof. Ramaya ni, Prof. Ramaya ni,
Prof.
ni.
Yes, excuse me,
Thank you,
Prof.
Prof.
Thank you for the question, Prof.
Well, Prof, I'm an avid follower of Prof. Ramaya. I think I always take him as my guru. Aside of I'm also using the same methodology with him, but I also align with his point of view, some of his point of view. And I think Prof. Ramaya asked a very legit question. What is your take on paper with 10 authors? Okay. Well, again, the authorship should reflect the quality, the efforts, and also the content of that particular published articles. I mean, we are not macam ramai yang tadi gotong royong lah, bukan gotong royong, tak ada gotong royong. So kalau setakat you baca saja, I mean if you one of the co-author just because dia baca saja, dia baca dan dia bagi tahu komen-komen, itu belum lagi sampai level authorship. Ada pula co-authorship yang kata dia bayar Dia bayar 1.5. So dia kata dia co-author. No. That's the problem because this is why saya applaud UiTM punya stand that paper untuk TNCPI punya perkeliling tu dia kata hanya paper main author corresponding author sahaja yang dikira dalam pencapaian KPI. Bermakna dia sudah menolak potensi boncengan gratis. But janganlah, I think Prof Maya pun boleh agree dengan saya, tapi janganlah marah geng-geng medical. Kalau you tengok paper medical, sometimes dia orang bukan ada 10, kadang-kadang sampai 30-40 author. Because dia buat the global punya study in which this author actually contribute data and also the reporting for each of dia punya research setting. But in social science, I think having 5 authors pun is too much. 4 authors tu saya boleh terima, assuming that the paper was written by the student and it was co-authored by the main supervisor and 2 another co-supervisor. Itu I can see makes sense, but 10 was absurd. Sorry, Prof. I think I hope I answer your question. This is my take lah, Prof. Yep. So penerbitan gotong royong tu saya rasa tak lah. I mean, try to avoid. Because at the end of the day, UiTM are expecting, the universities are expecting everyone to become an author. I mean, I'm not against co-authorship, but it must come with responsibilities and also contributions. That's why certain journals actually ask you to highlight what type of contribution were given by each of these author. Ada jurnal yang minta, jurnal 1 dia buat pasal method, jurnal kedua data collection, jurnal ketiga dia create the research paradigm ataupun dia fokus on research paradigm and the framework. So clear, nampak clear. Yep. That's for me. Thank you, Prof. Ramaya.
Thank you, Prof. Ramaya, for that question. Alright, penerbitan gotong royong, Prof. Ramaya said. Okay, now move to Dr. Rohaila. Doctor, can you suggest the best way to promote an accepted paper but not yet published? This is the correlate with my question just now. Okay, carry on.
If you want, you accepted paper, so you just post it in social media, say that, Alhamdulillah, thank God, my paper has been accepted by Journal of Tourism Futures. After 3 revisions, this paper was actually done by my FYP students, master student, focusing on the domestic tourism demand post COVID-19, katakan. And if you want to read the articles, please DM me. Nampak tak? I mean, you cannot share PDF kat ni kan, tapi you can ask them to, if you are interested with similar study and you would like to collaborate, I'm happy to lend my hands. This is how you share your kita panggil apa? Unpublished paper. Nanti dah lepas 3 bulan dia publish lagi sekali lah. Alhamdulillah, my paper has been published. This is the link to download the paper. Kan? Again, you are trying to show, it's actually social media ni sebenarnya is a reflection. You create your brand, you create your image, at the same time you create your credentials. Orang tengok what you are doing. Because research work ni kalau you tak bagi tahu, orang tak tahu. Kan? There are people yang very semangat lah, baru je publish. Tapi even you can see Prof. Ramaya pun benda yang sama. Whenever he got published, biasanya publisher akan bagi like 50 free e-copies. So he shared the link. People like me lah yang akan download, tengok, lu baca. Kan? So this is something that is good. Eventually when Prof. Ramaya share ke saya, share ke you, share nanti, orang lain akan nampak dan orang lain akan baca, orang lain akan follow. Because we want to create the culture of sharing our research work rather than putting it in our gerobok simpan, tak guna. Itu yang saya selalu kata. Kadang-kadang whenever your student buat FYP final year project, I was so disappointed to see a lot of research work pelajar ni, yalah mungkin because of tak berkualiti apa, tapi pelik juga tak berkualiti tapi dapat A, was simpan dalam almari, and after 5 years pensyarah tu tiba-tiba ada semangat nak bersihkan bilik, housekeeping, dia buang all the thesis. These are all knowledge that were not shared. So that's why I always urge my staff dekat UiTM faculty, if you do FYP, tak payah nak pening-pening nak buat besar-besar, tapi fokus on certain niche, but do it accordingly to the research process and try your best to share your study findings. And because what happened to my FYP student, some of them, most of them, are able to publish with me, and they print that article during the interview, dia bawa. So bila dia pergi interview as research officer dekat Tourism Malaysia, dia beritahu yang dia dah masa buat degree, dia buat research and dia dah publish. So that's actually something yang value added to dia punya peluang untuk dapat kerja lah. Okay, then we have Dr. Nur Hasniza.
Dr. Nur Hasniza. Doktor, bagaimana nak tahu invitation untuk berkolaborasi dari agensi luar adalah scammer atau tidak? After all, we have voiced out all our pencapaian, then there are a lot of people outside there jadi peminat pula. So how to differentiate between the peminat yang baik dengan peminat yang tak baik ni, Dr. Hafiz? Silakan.
That is actually a legit question. Saya tahu one of the concern dekat UiTM sekarang ni, there's a lot of people, staff UiTM that receive email daripada journal editor, dia punya ayat cantik lah, oh we read your paper blah 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 and it was very interesting. We would like to invite you to submit a short version of this paper to be published in this journal. Okay, the best thing to do, jangan terus percaya. First thing to do is copy the journal name, paste it in Skimago atau MJL. Tengok, does this journal index? Saya bukan against non-index journal, tapi right now this is the game. Saya bukanlah kata jangan publish kat journal yang tak berindeks, tapi kalau you submit kat journal tak berindeks, you are not going to get the full impact. And perhaps lagilah kalau predatory, lagilah kesian. So Google, dan saya punya investigation tu sampai tahap kadang-kadang saya email, saya jumpa journal tu berindeks dan saya email kepada chief editor asking, is this email legit and coming from you? And somehow 1 out of 10 memang bukan daripada dia orang, maknanya is a scammer lah. So what they did is that they akan minta you submit paper, dan bila you dah kata dia dah accept semua tu, dia minta you bayar. Sekarang ni scammer pun pandai, dia kata dia tak go for dia tak go for harga yang tinggi. 10,000 dia tahu orang tak boleh bayar. So they go for quantity, they go for smaller value. $100, $150. So you bayangkan kalau 100 orang bayar, berapa ribu dia dapat dah kan. So please look on that. Tapi again, there will be email coming from people yang mungkin betul coming from the right institution, the right person. Please check. Sekarang ni every information is Google. Kalau kata ada nama orang tu, you just Google, paste the name, you can know betul tak orang ni datang dari universiti ni. Especially from small university from third world countries. Kadang-kadang dia orang ni tak visible, so you search for them. But again, always look opportunity tu, treat the opportunity adequately. Jangan percaya sebenarnya knowledge lah. Okay, Dr. if co-author from negeri buat paper, kalau dia Asian and Black, okay je. They are much more open kat sana kan. I mean, as long as the university is legit and the collaborators are actually a staff of that particular university, I don't care which colour lah dia punya kulit, we must collaborate. We have to collaborate because we want to ketapakan kita tu, our ranking is based on them. And perhaps this is a good opportunity because most of these katakanlah you kata Asian and Black ni, one thing yang saya nampak dia orang ni, they are very bersemangat lah. They work very hard because dia memang try so hard to prove themselves to the university because they want to obtain tenureship. Dia tak macam kita kan. So I have a friend, my friend Faizan Ali, he is a Pakistani. He is currently attached with University of South Florida. So I work quite a few on a few projects with him. So dia ni memang bersemangat. Dia memang dan he work with a lot of people, anyone that are willing to work. So please do so. Affiliation is more important. Yes, definitely. True. I agree with Ahmad. I mean, the research world is quite multicultural, and right now universities, even Malaysian universities are also getting all these international researchers to join them. So as long as they came from a legit institution, work with them. And I love to work with the young ones, even though dulu I yang ada tak young sangat dah, ada 39 tahun dah nak masuk 40. Tapi I love to work with the young one because they are very enthusiastic. Dia orang bersemangat. And so with that, I think you should focus more on the potential works rather than who are they. But again, it goes back to you kena tak dengan dia kan. Kadang-kadang bagus pun tiba-tiba our setting tak kena tu pun tak boleh juga. So rather than focusing on quantity, go for quality collaborations. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rohala, for the nice question. Making that if we have a lot of collaboration, means that our paper will be more interesting because if you look at the affiliation, there is a cross country, okay, various country in the paper. Means that we send the paper not only to get a review from outside or from the white people researcher, but we have another collaboration with the co-authorship with the across country, right, Doctor? Okay, if there any more question from the participants, from the audience here? Ada lagi tak soalan?
Tak ada soalan live soalan chat box dia. Ni, saya ada Dr. Siti Sarah ni. Hai Dr. Siti Sarah.
Dr. Siti Sarah, do you have a question?
Doctor, sorry, I'm driving.
Okay, anyway, thank you for listening for this, even though you are in driving now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I keep follow Dr. Hafiz for whatever webinar conducted by Dr. Hafiz. Normally I follow rapat lah to get all the things.
So appreciate. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Dr. Sarah is the Timbalan Rektor PJI. Apa dia 9. So what happens that I have an opportunity to give a talk with Dr. Sarah, and eventually she approached to do something on paper and also on FRGS. So you can see this is actually something. Maknanya, I also get the benefits of visibility. Bila saya buat talk ni, I just want to share with Dr. Sarah ni. What have we done is that kita orang ada satu paper that is currently been reviewed in Q1 journals. Based on my latest communication with the editor, dia kata tengah tunggu lagi satu review, tapi the first reviewer punya comment was very favorable. Allah dapat kan. And the second activity kita orang Dr. Sarah dia lead untuk buat FRGS on Islamic tourism, and she was not in Islamic tourism punya area, dia business. Tapi dia dapat grant. Is it FRGS? I think FRGS pun Dr. Sarah dapat. So itu pun, I mean, it come with online visibility collaboration. I don't think that Dr. Sarah might knew me. Mungkin kalau saya give talk saja, mungkin dia tak apa faham saya, tapi because mungkin dia daripada Facebook saya, mungkin daripada profile saya, from there dia build up confidence to approach me and to work with me. So yeah, this is an opportunity for everyone, and I can see a lot of doctors here. And I can see Dr. Hema Zulaika pun ada sini. Sorry lah, tak sebut nama, nampak banyak-banyak ni kan. So yeah, visibility is something that a must. All researchers, not only for kenaikan pangkat tapi juga untuk dapat collaboration, because eventually we are going to work with different people every year. So, and the utmost recognition of academia is to be recognized by the industry player and also policy makers. So that is the ladder that we have to climb. So visibility, I think you will be able to do that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. All right, if there is no more questions, so thank you for all the interesting questions from the participant and a great answer, definitely from Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah. Okay, let's me a little bit wrap this topic. Okay, Dr. Muhammad Hafiz has brought us to go deep into a step-by-step techniques and strategies how to make a research and researcher being visible. And Dr. Hafiz also have pointed out the research visibility tips with such exciting explanation and share his experience and perhaps the tricks and tips how to sell ourselves in research globally. And eventually, Dr. Hafiz had covered all the topic on how to maximize the research visibility. Again, thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have your pleasure cooperation to turn on the camera for a photo session. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. All right, we wait for a while to make a more face. All right. Some more face. Okay. So I would like to have another more. Okay, come on. Here I could see participants is about 76 participants. All right. So committee member, do you ready to take a picture? Okay, so we will take two picture. Okay, I will count it. Okay. First picture, first photo. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, give a very sweet smile for the end of these 2021 years. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Yes, thank you very much. All right, for your information, the link for the certificate of participation is not available in chat box. Please provide necessary information to receive your e-certificate. Now we have reached the end of our webinar series. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Hanafiah, for having us in this webinar with a full of information, really great sharing. And thank you also to all of the participants today with your participation and your support throughout of this year, 2021, in joining a webinar writing series 2021 organized by UiTM Police, and hope to see you again in 2022. Thank you for your time. Assalamualaikum. Have a nice day and stay safe. Thank you.